Hey, so this video I'm going to show you exactly how you can improve your English in the next 6 months. So after 6 months, you will be able to land your dream international clients as an entrepreneur. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to do that in 3 easy steps. Consume, speak, and get feedback. So I'm literally going to show you everything. I literally have like a lot of stuff prepared. But before going to that, I wanted to explain who I am. My name is Artem. I'm a non-native English speaker, and I've helped hundreds of other non-native English speaking entrepreneurs improve their spoken English. And I've have like a lot of testimonials. If you want, you can message me on Instagram, and I'm literally going to send you all of my testimonials. And so here are some of them. And also, I helped Andrea and Roberto improve their spoken English, and I've documented their entire journey in 2.5 months, how they were able to go from zero to hero, and you can watch these videos on my YouTube channel. And so now let's actually dive deep into the topic. So there are three things, sorry, not two things, you need to do in order to improve your English. So the first step is to consume, then the second step is to speak, and then the third one is to get feedback. And so why these three steps are so important? So when you consume information, you are going to develop your English brain. Then when you start speaking, you are going to actually practice speaking, because the thing is, a lot of people say that you need to consume information, but when you consume a lot of information, what happens is that you have a lot of information in your brain, but you cannot deliver it to somebody. So you cannot literally speak about this information. But your goal is to finally start speaking with your clients. So in order to do that, in order to speak with your clients in English, you have to practice speaking, right? So you already understand me, you already understand everything that I say because you've consumed a lot of information. Now it's just about practicing speaking. And then the last step is to get feedback. So as you can see, there's no grammar. I don't teach people how to like learn grammar or something. The only thing I do is I teach people how to consume, speak, and get feedback. And so I literally give people feedback after they speak. And so the last step is really important, because if you want to build a good business, you need to get feedback from your customers. Because if you simply try to like record YouTube videos and you never actually ask your clients, what kinds of videos would you prefer? You will create pretty shitty YouTube videos, right? So you want to get feedback from your customers in order to create a better business. So the same thing is here. If you want to speak better, you gotta get feedback from somebody, from a third person who can show you how you can actually improve your spoken English. So this is really important. And now you probably understand these three steps that you need to follow in order to improve your English. And now let's dive deep into each one of them. So the first one is to consume information. So in order to consume information, there are two steps you can do. First, you can just go to YouTube, for example, Charlie Morgan. For example, you can watch videos from Charlie Morgan or from your favorite um, content creators about the topic you're passionate about, and you're going to get really good at understanding English. And this is amazing. And so, for example, you consume one of Charlie Morgan's videos. For example, you watch this one, give me, I'll reduce your anxiety. So you click on it, you simply watch the video. Oh, I hate YouTube. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to quickly do it like this. So you watch the video full screen without distractions, without
Okay, so you want to
anything.
be
And when you watch the video, the next step is to actually actively consume, not to simply passively consume the information because you've been doing it for a very long time. Now you've created this English brain in your mind, but you still cannot connect one point to another. And because of that, you cannot speak to your clients. So if you try to explain something to your client, you simply cannot, because you cannot connect one point to another. So what I do is I create scripts. So literally before recording this video, I've created like a simple script. As you can see, there's 5 bullet points. And so if you want to actually connect information in your mind, you gotta take notes. And here's a simple way how to do that. So I didn't take notes on this particular video, but I've taken notes on the book called Think and Grow Rich. So you can consume information by watching, and you can also consume information by reading books. And so I do both. I read books as well. So for example, here's the book Think and Grow Rich. You probably have seen this book before. Think and Grow Rich. Okay, let me show you real quick. So it's this book, and I've created like a big mind map like going through the entire book. So I have this desire plus faith equals achievement is the concept from this book. I took a lot of notes, as you can see. I even created like some kind of like a mind map. It looks pretty cool. And so here's how I did it. I just simply started reading the book. For example, a pretty after dinner speech for $1 billion. I don't know what it is about. So I simply read the story, for example, like this one, and then I took a couple of notes. For example, I found this particular sentence very attractive, and I just simply copied it and I pasted here, right? And I just deleted this part, and now I have this thing in my mind map. So by the way, this app is called Freeform, if you're curious. It's called Freeform for macOS, and you can use it to create beautiful mind maps. So if you're using Windows, you can use, um, honestly, I don't know what people use in Windows. Sorry for that. I forgot how to use Windows. But you can probably find some kind of like a mind map software on Windows if you want to. So you take some notes on the book and you try to structure these notes. So instead of just simply putting a lot of sentences like this, you try to actually organize it and you try to make it beautiful. For example, like here, I just simply organized and I summarized everything from this book. So there was like a part in this book that teaches about how you can actually manifest the things that you want in life. And so I just simply copied this part. There's like 6-step process, and I just simply summarized every step. For example, I read one chapter where the author talks about this one particular step. For example, you need to know that you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish. And I just simply summarized it in one sentence. I know that I can accomplish what I set out to accomplish. And so I intend to get it with persistent action. So I summarize it in a very simple way, and I connected two thoughts together. So the first one and the second one, as you can see, there's two things and they're connected together. And so then if I wanted to create a third note on the same chapter, so for example, here's like this one chapter, I would simply create a third note and I would write something really important. Here's how to do it practically, right? And for example, here I simply outline the practical steps how to actually do this, right? How to actually do something with persistent action. And so this is literally it. This is how you take notes. It's not difficult. It's extremely simple. You simply outline the most important thing from the book. For example, this concept really stood out to me from this book when I was reading it, and I just simply put it in like a really big font so I can see it. So the next time I look at this mind map, I see that, you know what? This is actually a very important thing, so I need to talk about it in more details. And so then there are some other things, and I talk about them next. So it's like a second priority thing, and then there's even smaller text, and so it's like the third priority basically. And so here's how I take notes. As you can see, it's very very simple. It doesn't require me a lot of effort. I have like, as you can see, I have a lot of notes here. Usually it's not notes on videos or books. Usually it's more like uh, mind maps for my future videos. But I still create like a lot of notes and a lot of mind maps for videos. So this is basically the first step, how to consume information. As you can see, it's very simple. And I also explain to you how you can take notes and create mind maps. So you simply take notes on the stuff that you find important. I cannot really show you it in real time because it will take me quite some time to go through the book to read it, right? So it will probably take me like 1 hour to go through everything. And if I watch Charlie Morgan's video right now, it's also going to take me a lot of time. So, but you probably understand what it means. You simply want to, let me quickly summarize it in one sentence. You simply want to write down what you find important. And that's it. So you find something really important and you just simply write it down. So if it's really important, then you make it big. If it's not that important, then you make it small, right? If it's like a medium importance, then you make it medium in size. And that's basically it. That's how you create amazing notes. So if it's not that important, you can make it, you can make the font thinner, or you can make it bolder if it's more important. That's basically it. You can also underline the text if you want to. When you do that, you you actually strengthen the connections in your brain. And so it's like everything in your brain is not the same, if that makes sense. So, for example, one idea is bigger than another in your brain, literally. Then another idea is smaller, just because you literally put it in the mind map, and some of the things are bigger, some of the things are smaller. And so you prioritize different things. And when you are speaking to your ideal clients in the future, it's going to get 10 times easier. Why? Because you're prioritizing certain things and you are skipping some of the boring, mundane, and not important tasks. Make sense? So this is how you take notes and this is how you consume information. And here you would probably be able to speak on a really good level if you just do these two first steps. But actually, you actually want to practice speaking. And so here's how I do that as well. So how I record and speak with others. So as you can see, I just simply take 5 notes on the video that I've consumed. For example, if I watch video by Charlie Morgan, I will take the exact five five notes, or maybe a bit more, or maybe a bit less, or maybe I'll create like a beautiful mind map, and then I would just simply go through the mind map. So I would just simply open up the mind map and I would just start talking about these things, right? I can record myself talking about this, or I can create the mind map, I can learn about this information, and then talk about it with my students. So I also have my community, and let me quickly explain something. So here, as you can see, I not only record videos where I speak, but I also speak with other people. And so this is really important. So if you want to create like a personal brand, or you want to record some kind of videos for your clients in the future, or do some presentations, it's really freaking important to learn how to speak on camera. So if you cannot do it, you like, even native speakers struggle with it. Do you understand? Even native speakers cannot record themselves on camera. So they literally cannot speak English on camera, and it's really, really difficult. But you, as an entrepreneur, there's like an 80% chance that you actually want to do it. So if you want to do it, then do it. Then practice doing that, because it will not only help you create beautiful presentations and videos, but it will also help you speak with your clients as well. And so that was like a bit of a rant. And now let me actually explain how I speak with my students, and how I help my students speak. And then I'll explain how I actually record myself speaking on camera about certain topics. So it makes it crystal clear for you how you can do that actually. So first, I wanted to show you some of the posts inside of my community. So again, I have my own community. I'm not like selling this community or anything, so you can check it out if you want to. But if you're not an entrepreneur, or if you're not like a coach, or um, agency owner, or someone like that, if you're not established in your local country, then this community is not for you. This is only for established entrepreneurs. But if you are, then you can join it, and it's absolutely free. So here inside of our community, we have this thing called calendar. And so inside the calendar, we have weekly speaking calls. And so on speaking calls, we can just like join, click the link, and join the speaking call. On speaking calls, we usually discuss certain topics. So again, we connect with ourselves, we connect together and practice English talking about your favorite topics. So topics could be the self-improvement, psychology, business, spirituality, or something else. There's a lot of things that we can discuss. And so after every call, I create a post. So this is literally us on the call. I cannot open the picture for some reason, doesn't matter. And so on this post, I just basically explained what we were talking about. So we were talking about how to find your dream client. And it's really important to actually find your dream client and not work with everyone, right? And so this is what we were talking about on that speaking call. And everyone shared their own ideas, because everyone consumed some kind of like a video on YouTube before, for example, maybe from Charlie Morgan, explaining how you can get your dream clients. And so we simply talked about that inside of our community. And it's really beautiful when you can talk about these things in your favorite, I mean, not in your favorite, but in the community where people support the same kind of topics, right? So if you simply try to talk about something with like a random person, right, or with a person who has no interests in your specific topics, then what's the point of it, right? You are an entrepreneur and you want to talk only with entrepreneurs about the topics you're curious about, because you will save a lot of time. Make sense? Makes sense. So if you simply talk about what's your favorite hobbies every single day? You are not going to improve your English, and you won't be able to speak to your clients if you talk about dogs or cats or your favorite hobbies all day, right? You want to actually talk about psychology, business, mindset, and topics related to your specific niche, right? But of course, the foundation is business. So, first, like business comes first, and these are the topics you want to talk about first. And so, then also at the end of the call, so this is going to be like the next step, I give feedback to people. But we're going to get back to that a bit later because I wanted to explain to you how you can actually record yourself on camera. So, this is how we practice speaking by just simply going on calls and speaking with each other. Sometimes I just go on calls with my students. For example, I don't know, how can I explain? For example, I went on a lot of calls with Andrea, and we were just basically talking about his favorite topics. So if you want, you can actually check out this video by Andrea. And with Andrea and with Roberto, we were just simply going on one weekly speaking call where we were discussing their favorite topics. And that's basically it. So then, now let's actually talk about how to record videos. So with Andrea and Roberto, again, we were practicing recording videos as well. And here's how I taught them to do that. So I took some notes. For example, you've taken notes on a book or on a video, and now you have like this beautiful mind map, or you just have like a couple of notes. It doesn't matter. And so now it's all just about pressing the record button. So for example, here I have OBS, and I'm just recording myself speaking about this topic. Um, and here's how I would do it. So I'll simply start with the biggest thing I have here. For example, desire, faith equals achievement. And so I will just start talking about this. Hello, guys. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to actually manifest everything that you want in your life. So in order to achieve everything that you want, you need to have desire and faith. So desire and faith equals achievement. For example, let me explain what desire means first and then explain what faith means. So desire means that you want to achieve something. It's like you want this thing. It's like a burning desire. For example, you want to actually, I don't know, get this new Lamborghini or you want to achieve this financial goal in your business. So this is like this thing from within, like you just want it with your heart, right? So desire is wanting something. But if you simply want a Lamborghini, you're not going to get it, right? You also need to have faith. So when you have faith, when you combine faith with desire, and when you believe in the fact that you can achieve the Lamborghini, then you're going to achieve it, right? Of course, you need to take action steps towards it. But if you have desire and faith already, then you've laid an amazing foundation in order to get this Lamborghini. And so now it's just about taking steps towards it. It's very simple. And it does require you to spend hours and hours every single day. Because if you spend a lot of time working on something every day, then you're going to fail. So as you can see, like, okay, this is me again talking about English, not about desire and faith. As you can see, it's all just about discussing every single point. So, for example, I was just simply speaking about this first point for maybe like 3 minutes, right? And it's all just about breaking down everything step by step. As you can see, first I started with achievement because this is the outcome. So I explained that if you want to get this achievement, you need to have desire and faith. And then I started breaking down faith and desire step by step. And when I did that, I created an amazing video. So this is the way you want to talk in your videos as well. It's just about breaking down every single step, step by step, if that makes sense. So it's like you have one step and you break that step down into smaller steps. When you do that, you make it easy for other people to understand, and you also make it easier for yourself to speak. Because if you just simply say that, oh, well, hello guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about desire, faith, and achievement, and desire plus faith equals achievement. So, uh, like and subscribe. Well, it's not enough, right? You want to actually explain everything because people are not going to understand 3 words, but they are going to understand your explanation of every single word. So if you provide at least one sentence to every single word, then you're gonna crush it, right? For example, here you cannot simply explain every single word. So, oh, the first word and the second word. because it's not a title, right? It's actually like a paragraph. So when you want to explain a paragraph, for example, you took some notes and you decided to just put the paragraph from the book, you simply read this paragraph first and then you explain what it means to you, right? So like this big paragraph basically equals one word, right? For example, if it's a title, then you want to explain the title in more words and you want to explain every word in the title. But if it's like a big paragraph, then you simply just explain the paragraph, the meaning of the paragraph in your own words. I know it's going to be really tough to do that at first, but you are going to get better with practice and with actually creating these mind maps and consuming more information. So, honestly, the best tip I can give you is to just copy the way other people speak. This is what I did. I didn't try to study how to create a perfect video, or I didn't study how to speak better in English. I just simply copied what other people did. I just simply copied the way freaking Charlie Morgan speaks in his videos. So I just simply watched his video and I'm like, oh, this is how I should speak in my videos. Right? And I was just like copying the way he spoke. That's basically it. Then I watched Alex Hormozy and I just started copying the way he speaks. Then I copied all these other people online and I was able to speak like them by just copying them. That's it. It's not about thinking, oh, well, I should say this in the beginning. No, it's just about saying whatever. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're practicing, you're getting better. So then the next step is to actually get feedback. So how do you do that? Well, it's pretty simple. In order to get feedback, there are two things you can do. So first, you can get feedback from other people, or you can get feedback from yourself. So let me quickly show you something inside of our community. Yeah, this one actually. So I just gave them feedback on the way they spoke. For example, I had two people on the call. I had Javeria and Rahman, and I just simply gave them feedback on the way they spoke. As you can see, I'll be giving personalized feedback at the end of every call to everyone who joins. And so we just started giving them feedback. Your ideas, psychology insights are invaluable, and here's how you can improve your English. So here's what the thing you can do in order to improve your English. And I just simply created an entire video explaining how they can do that. So I just simply shared them one tip they can do before the next call in order to speak like 10 times better or something. And this is what I did, and people enjoyed it, and people actually improved their spoken English after that. And the same thing I gave to Roberto and Andrea. So I just simply how do I say? I just simply went on a lot of calls with them, and I just simply asked them to create videos, and then I rewatched the calls with Roberto and with Andrea, and I analyzed the way they spoke. And so I just gave them like a really good tip how they can improve on the next call, or sometimes I just gave them feedback on their videos so they can record a better video next time. Just sharing one tip, one thing they can improve, and then they spoke better on the next video or on the next call. That's pretty much it, right? And so if you want to give yourself feedback, if you don't have like a teacher or a coach or someone else, you can also do it yourself, right? It doesn't require you to have like a teacher or a coach. And so what you can do is you can just simply, let me quickly open up the my founder. You can just simply open up one of the videos and you can just start analyzing this video and thinking, you know what? I actually need to improve this part. I actually need to stop saying this word. I actually need to say it a bit differently. I think if I say it this way instead of saying that way, then I'm going to get better. And so this is how you give yourself feedback. It's very easy to do. And then again, when you consume your own video, you just take a couple of notes explaining that, oh, I need to first do this, then do this, then do that, right? And this is how you can get better. And I've recorded more than how much? Let me quickly open up my YouTube channel, Artem English. Yeah, that's funny. That's how you can find me on on YouTube. And so I just simply rewatched my own videos by editing them, and then I gave myself feedback. And that's basically it. Right? It's very easy to do because when you record yourself, then you can just rewatch the video. Or if you record the call that you're going to have with the person, then you can also give yourself feedback by rewatching the call. And that's the same thing, right? Of course, getting feedback from a coach or from somebody is going to be a lot better, especially from a coach, because a coach can pinpoint one of the um, like key mistake that you're making And when you actually fix this mistake, you're gonna get a lot better on the next call. Because when you give yourself feedback, you probably are going to get stuck because you're gonna try to fix all of these different things at once, but you just need to fix one thing, right? In order to get better on the next call. But you're gonna think about, oh, I need to improve this and I need to improve that. And as a result, you're just gonna think that, hell, there's so many things I need to improve. And so you probably are going to give up, right? Maybe that's why you have given up in the past, because you've tried to do so many things at once and you thought that, oh, my English just sucks. I will never get better. So that's why it's important to get a teacher who can give you feedback, or a coach, or someone else. But of course, it should be like a trusted person, because if you just ask feedback from your friend who can't even speak English, then of course, what's the point of doing that, right? You want somebody who can actually speak English. By the way, it could be a native speaker as well. And so this is it. Those were the first four steps, and then the last one, uh, I wanted to show how others do it too, and I basically showed it to you. So I showed our community and how we do it inside of our community. So if you're an established entrepreneur and you want to actually get more global clients, or you want to get your first global client, then this is the community for you. You can check it out. And here we have like a lot of different courses explaining everything, how you can get started. So if you want, you can check it out. And I would love to see inside of our community. So those were all the steps you need to take in order to improve your English. As you can see, it's like there's 5 steps. There's 5 bullet points that we're talking about in this video. But actually, there's just 3 things you need to do, which is consume actively, then speak, and then get feedback from people, or just giving feedback yourself. And this is basically it. So if you follow these 3 steps, you are going to get fluent. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments, what would you like me to record a video about next? And I see you in the next video. Bye bye.